Cloudcast Media.
Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. We are so pleased to have in the studio with us today Stephanie Coolidge. She is the executive director of the FACE Foundation. How you doing, Stephanie?
Doing well. Thanks for having us. This is awesome.
Well, we are just honored to have you. Joined by my guest co-host, Kamara White. She is a curiosity shipper. Since we don't believe in internships, we call them curiosity ships. She just graduated from Mount Carmel High School, will be attending St. Martin's College at Washington State on a volleyball scholarship, but she is a communications major, and she will be probably doing podcasts when she gets up there. At least that's what you tell me, correct?
Yes.
All right, sounds good. I think she has a question right out of the gate for you, Stephanie.
Yeah, so what is the mission of your organization?
So FACE Foundation was founded 17 years ago, and our mission is to end economic euthanasia. What this means is an animal is seen by a veterinarian, and they are diagnosed with a potentially fatal condition that needs to be treated right away. And that family cannot afford to pay for that treatment. And so what they end up doing is unfortunately euthanizing that animal because of an affordability issue with their economic or financial status, which is absolutely heartbreaking. We believe that in FACE Foundation that your financial status should not play a role in your ability to have an animal companion. And so that is our mission, is to end economic euthanasia. Mm-hmm.
So are you talking all types of animals? Dogs, cats, guinea pigs, storks, everything in between?
We never funded a stork before, but we've...
you never know, right?
We've have funded ferrets and parrots,
Beautiful.
But most of the time dogs and cats. And our average right now, we're saving 1 to 2 animals in San Diego every day. We have funded over $7.5 million of vet care just in San Diego County.
That is fantastic. Do you work closely with the Humane Societies? Who do you work with on this?
So that's a great question. The reason and the way we're able to do this and to spread the word without walking around town every day is to connect with our veterinarians. So we work with over 190, so almost 200 vets in San Diego,
Nice.
and they are the conduit to our pet owners. So when they show up and this situation happens, obviously in the exam or their lobby, they can present to the FACE Foundation, give them an application, and then they get a hold of us right there in the vet office, and then we can fund them directly to the vet. So the veterinarians are a conduit to these pet owners, and our relationships with our vet partners absolutely critical, and the reason why we're able to do what we do.
No, I think that's... Where do you get most of the funding from? Are they from individuals? Are they grants? Are they corporations? It's the Ouija board?
Most of it donations from San Diego.
Yeah.
Our grants are growing the longer that we're around, and our reputation is obviously growing, and we are growing, and we are expanding as a nonprofit. We're going to be leaving San Diego for the first time in the history of FACE Foundation, opening up an Oahu location in Honolulu, and we do that. We've waited to grow, we've waited to expand, but if you go to our website, our vision is a world without economic euthanasia. And I know that's an ambitious statement, but we are not, we believe in global fairness, and we want to spread what we do around the world, because this is not just a San Diego issue. This is a national issue and an international issue for companion animals.
Well, there's no question about this. The reason why I brought up the Humane Society, one of our frequent guests and a longtime friend and colleague of mine is Dr. Gary Weitzman of the San Diego Humane Society. And anybody who knows Gary, he's just quite a guy for 75,000 different reasons, written about 10 books, and is the nicest guy in the world on this, and I bet he loves what you guys are doing for 76 different... He's going to be coming on next week, and so I'm going to be referencing you folks. I can't believe that I've not heard of you before. That's more of my fault than anybody else's in this, since we've been doing this thing for 17 years on that. I think that's absolutely fantastic. Is there any other groups doing this around the country or similar to yours?
That's a great question. And back to Gary, Dr. Weitzman I'm a huge fan of Dr.
Yes.
Weitzman, and
Yep.
something I'll answer your question
Please.
in just a second. But one of the other options for pet owners is to relinquish their animal. And I've heard this over and over again. Well, you don't have to euthanize them. You can relinquish them to the shelters. Well, the shelters are absolutely overwhelmed right now.
Crazy.
And they'll turn you away. And, my animals are my kids practically. And I don't know what is worse, to euthanize them because I don't have the money, or to let them go to a shelter and not know what is going to happen to your pet. So Dr. Weitzman and everybody at the San Diego Humane Society and Rancho Coastal Humane Society, they know who we are. And when we have to work together. There's synergy within the animal nonprofit world, which is why we're having this event that we can talk about later. But Gary is fantastic, and he refers to FACE all the time. As far as are we the only ones doing this, we were one of the first, if not the first. There are a couple more that have popped up around the country, and they actually reach out to us, and we do not keep secrets. We will tell them how we do this. We have Zoom calls all the time with other veterinarians or organizations that are trying to do what we're doing, and we're happy to help them. There's also a crowdfunding site called Waggle. Steve, I know the CEO and the founder of Waggle, so it's essentially a GoFundMe except just for animals. And so there are people that are aware of this, and I will say that economic euthanasia is becoming a hot topic for veterinarians.
Yeah.
This is something that's increasing. 17 years ago, it wasn't really at the top of mind for a lot of people, but it very much is at this point. It comes with inflation. It comes with the cost of living. And unfortunately, a lot of people will see pet care as a luxury item, and that's the first thing that they'll wait. They won't take their limping dog to a vet or whatever because they just don't have the money.
Yeah, no, I understand that. And, and I know Kamara's got a question for you, but I've been a pet owner since I was barely walking, I guess. So I grew up with guinea pigs and cricket farms and snakes and rabbits, and my mom raised 7 huskies when she was a little girl in Canada. So when it's in your blood about animals and pets, I had a minor bird that used to call me by my formal first name, called me Andrew. I'm not sure why. I mean, my name's Drew, for God's sake. So I know what you mean. And we just lost our beloved Golden in January, and that stuff will just bring you to your knees, as you know. And that's so it's just so thrilled to see what you folks are doing. We're chatting with Stephanie Coolidge, the executive director of the FACE Foundation. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest-running community podcast, now in our 17th year, broadcasting from these beautiful mission-fed studios here in Scripps Ranch, joined by my colleague, Kamara White. She's a guest co-host. She'll be attending St. Martin's College in a couple weeks. I know, Kamara, you have a question for Stephanie.
Yes. Can you just talk about your Save a Life program and what that means?
So the Save a Life program is what we do. That is 90% of what we do. We have a community outreach program that we do in the most of downtown San Diego, the homeless community. But the Save a Life program is the veterinary program that we have. So we are what we just talked about, the veterinarians that see these animals, that see these. You just talked about your golden retriever. I have a retriever myself that see these golden retrievers that come in with a pyometra, or they're hit by a car, or they have bloat, or all of these medical conditions that come in, and you have to fix them or they are fatal. Our Save a Life program is the funding for that veterinary care. And so that's what we did alone for a very, very long time. But as inflation has hit San Diego, we've expanded our services to food insecurity. There's a lot of homeless people with animals that love them very dearly. They're the only reason that they get up in the morning. So Save a Life program is the heart and soul of the FACE Foundation, but we have expanded our efforts because economic euthanasia isn't just a medical problem anymore. It's touching the lives of many people in San Diego.
There's no question about that. When we come back from break, we're going to chat more with Stephanie Coolidge, Executive Director of the FACE Foundation. We're going to talk about the very cool San Diego Animal Hero Awards program that is just around the corner, August 19th, at Costa Veterinary Medicine. And just want to give a shout out to the unbelievable work that vets do. We know there is a phenomenal shortage of veterinarians that are contributing to everything in that aspect. Maybe we can touch base on that. Something Gary and I always talk about when we return right after this commercial message.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg, and you're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, the nation's longest-running community podcast, now in our 17th year, broadcasting from these wonderful Mission Fed studios here in Scripps Ranch. And Mission Fed been continuing to do great things for San Diegans for more than 60 years, joined by Stephanie Coolidge, Executive Director of the FACE Foundation, talking about the great work they do to try to, eliminate what is something that is so big and these days over here, and that is economic euthanasia. We'll chat about that a little bit more. Joined by my guest co-host and curiosity shipper, Kamara White. Kamara, I know you have another question for Stephanie.
Yeah, so I know in a couple weeks you guys have a big event coming up, the San Diego Animal Hero Awards. Can you just talk about that, what it is, and how can the public get involved?
So the San Diego Animal Hero Awards is our gratitude event, really, to all the veterinarians. Drew, you just touched on there not being enough vets on our country to treat the amount of companion animals. Veterinarians work harder than you can ever imagine. They are true heroes. Their student debt is, I just talked to a veterinarian this morning, and she said, I'm going to be paying my student debt to be a veterinarian until I'm 62. They work 15-hour days. They're very compassionate people, and they don't get a lot of credit. I don't think they get enough credit. I really don't. And they are heroes, and we have hundreds of them here. We also have lots of nonprofits, smaller groups, not just the San Diego Humane Society, but the Animal Pad and the Rabbit Society and so many other groups that work tirelessly. Most of them don't get paid enough, if they get paid at all, and they're just out there doing things in our community and being heroes on a daily basis. We want to get everybody in the same room and honor some people that have done extraordinary things, especially during COVID. We have been unable to get under one roof. So we are going to be, the nominations are done. People have nominated for the last few months. We had 8,000 people vote for their animal hero in San Diego, and we're counting those ballots right now. And we'll have finalists to announce on Monday. At the event, we're going to be naming a winner of each category. There will be a veterinarian, a nonprofit, an animalitarian, all sorts of different categories, and then there will be one main San Diego Animal Hero Award. We just found out that the San Diego County has made a proclamation that August 19th is San Diego Animal Hero Day in San Diego. So this is just really our way of saying thank you to all of these incredible animal advocates that are in our city, that are working tirelessly on behalf of our furry family members, our children that have 4 legs instead of 2, and we just want to say thank you. We want to honor that part of our community.
As you well know, Stephanie, just talking to Gary and so forth, that San Diego really is a community as a whole that loves its pets, okay? There is a huge animal-human bond here, and I guess any city would probably say the same, but Gary says, no, this one is a special place for that, and you know that as well as anyone because of the space that you're in. Getting back to the Hero Awards, it's going to be at the Brick at Liberty Station, right? And
that's right.
Right, it's from 5 to 8. Do you need sponsors still?
Absolutely, and all the money goes towards either saving a pet of the FACE Foundation,
right.
But we are distributing funds that night. The winners all get to choose a San Diego charity of their choice to give their money to. So this isn't just about FACE, this is our whole community, but it is from 5 to 8 at Liberty Station on August 19th. We've got a coursed meal, we've got auction items and raffles and entertainment. Your dogs are welcome, so bring your animals.
I was just going to ask, can you bring the dog? So, and of course, another events that are probably around that time, the Fur Ball, of course, at Humane Society, and we just got a new golden puppy, 12 weeks old, and causing me never to sleep again. And they're cute as can be, as you well know in this aspect of it. So when you register for this, you go to your foundation. Is that how you need to do that?
You can go to Face for Pets, so face4pets.org.
Yeah.
And I just thank you for mentioning your golden retriever, Drew, because we actually have animals that will be winning awards. So this isn't just for animal people.
Right.
We have golden retrievers who do incredible things at Rady's Children's Hospital, in the prison system, in the foster system with children. So we're going to be honoring animals as well. You're going to see some trophies. I don't think they're going to care about the trophy very much, but they might like the biscuit that comes along with it.
Unless the trophy is full of things they can eat. Right, exactly, as we well know, and Goldens like to eat. We're chatting with Stephanie Coolidge. I'm not sure if too many dogs that don't like to eat, for that matter, that I think about it. She's the executive director of the FACE Foundation. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show here in Mission Fed Studios in Scripps Ranch. Mission Fed doing great things for more than 60 years. I really want to, got about a minute or two to go here. Want to really get back to what you said before, and we chatted about we can't do enough for the veterinarians in this region. And you're right. Anybody who loves any type of pet, okay, bird doesn't make a difference. Turtle, who knows? Knows that is the family. They're part of the family, no matter what they look, what size, how old, and all that business. And these vets, you brought up something so true. Gary and I have chatted about it quite a bit. Vets have a pretty good money they owe after they go to vet school. Not a lot different than medical school. They're just not making $400,000 a year when they start. I'm not sure how many doctors are making that either. Out of the way, now my doctor friend's going to go, "You an idiot? We don't make that coming out of the gate either." But you're 100% correct. That is a big issue in that area. There's a shortage of that. So what can people do to support just even that aspect of it, besides love of vet, I guess,
This is a great question, and I would love to have a simple answer. And I've been doing a lot of research and talking to. There's a doctor at the University of Tennessee that did a study with Maddie's Fund in 2018, and I think a lot of people right now they're seeing the impact that veterinarians are. Well, I don't know if it's an impact, but they're affected negatively by the workload that they have.
100%.
And I don't know, we've got pet insurance now. I think there has to be a fundamental change with the pet insurance companies. There's a corporate buyout issue, and there's two sides to that. I don't think we have enough time to explore that at all.
Next time you're here, we're going to talk about how's that sound. Yeah.
But I would say the E in FACE stands for education. Okay. And one of a good friend of FACE Foundation said, FACE Foundation is the panic button. When you're really in a panic, you press that button, you call FACE, and we help you, we fund it. But we also have preventative measures that we can take, like getting pet insurance. And pet insurance runs on a reimbursement basis. So that's kind of the difficult factor in recommending pet insurance is if you don't have $10,000, you don't have $10,000, whether you want it from me, if you say, well, we'll give it back to you in a month. Well, I still don't have the $10,000 right now.
Right.
And so I think we have to have some real fundamental change with pet insurance. We have to support our veterinary nurses. I cannot say more good things about vet techs. Veterinarians cannot do their job without their support.
Right.
We need to pay them more. We need to figure out how to pay them more. And that can't be passed down to the pet owner every single time. We've got to have innovative a change in the veterinary practice. What I've seen, one of the solutions that I've seen recently in San Diego are urgent cares, which aren't the crazy, specialty hospitals, and they're incredible doctors.
They are.
But you've got urgent cares. Veterinarians see animals for wellness and vaccines and just your standard care. And then you've got people that show up with, an eye that's, really been injured or something, and that's just kind of throws a wrench in their day, but they're going to stay till 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night to see those pets. These urgent cares are filling the gap for these veterinarians right now. So we need to come up with an innovative system to change the way that veterinary practices are managed, the way that we support veterinarians in a clinical space, and that's going to take a lot more than just, well, COVID, everybody got a dog, and now they're realizing the care. That kind of got pushed by the media. That is not the problem. It's much more fundamental than that. We have to come up with solutions. We have to be truthful, transparent, and courageous about what the corporate buyout is doing to the veterinary industry, the pros and the cons. And so I don't know if I have enough time to talk about this, but I would say start a savings account. If you have a puppy, start a savings account or get pet insurance. You're going to come into a situation where you didn't expect. It's going to fall off the couch. He's going to get an ear infection. Something's going to grow off of his back that's not supposed to be there. There's so many different medical conditions that are going to happen to your animal. And so be prepared for that. Save your money or get a pet insurance company that maybe works directly and can pay the veterinarian directly. And there's one company, I won't name them, but you can Google it. But they do pay, they're the first company that's paying the vet directly and not running on a reimbursement program. We need more of that in the industry. And so I can't wait to meet with veterinarians all around San Diego and all around our country to come up with a solution, because this is a problem. It's an issue, and I believe that the financial status of a family should not have an effect on the ability to have a beloved companion animal. It's such a blessing. The animal and human bond is powerful. It's healing. I've seen golden retrievers change a veteran's life. PTSD without medication. Animals are powerful. We need that. We need people to be able to afford them. And not be scared to have an animal and not run into a situation where they have to euthanize their animal because they can't afford it.
No, I agree. Promise me you'll come back on sooner than later and continue that conversation.
Absolutely.
As a matter of fact, I'm not sure how quickly you can come on. Certainly you got your event, but I think we even have an opening at the end of August or something like that you can talk about how the event went on the 19th and continue this. We can't talk enough about this aspect of it. Talk about just one final comment about the event. How do they go to the event, and when is it? August the 19th.
So San Diego Animal Hero Awards.org is the actual event website, or faceforpets.org. If you go to our website, you can learn about what we do, and then also right on the front page is the event, and we'd love to see every San Diego animal lover there. That
sounds great. Again, been having a great conversation with Stephanie Coolidge. She will make a return appearance. We heard that, right, Kamara?
That's right.
Yes, on this. Very good.
Thank you.
She's executive director of the Face Foundation. They got their great event coming up on August the 19th. I'm Drew Schlosberg, and you've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. It's the nation's longest-running community podcast, now in our 17th year, broadcasting from Mission Fed Studios here in Scripps Ranch. And Mission Fed's been great supporters of wonderful things in our community for more than 60 years. We hope you enjoyed the show.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.